Lieutenant Junior Grade Kedron Tell. During my first bridge duty shift, I located a system of note while analyzing telemetry data from a long-range probe. The captain has decided to set course for the system to take a closer look. Lieutenant Tsleil-Waututh generously allowed me to take the science station as it was my discovery. I'm still getting accustomed to operations on the bridge of the USS Haida, but I'm confident that adherence to scientific principles will guide us to the answers we seek.
That was such a bad decision. I mean, yes, absolutely. All right, so indeed, Kedron, you have indeed detected using the long-range probes that were sent into the Shackleton Expanse, the system. Now, the system is of note. Sofek, you and Kedron were able to establish, as you got closer with your long-range sensors on the ship itself, that it is a binary system, and it's got 7 planets, 4 of which are Jovians, and then 2 just like the Brocky Class D, I think it is. And the big Jovian planets, that's the Saturn-like ones, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know. They've got 28 moons around them. Now, here's the unusual part. You're detecting plant life on 8 of those 28 moons, which is very rare for a system in general, let alone everything all together. And that's where we are. Dead silence.
Are we dropped out of warp? Are we there yet?
Yeah. So your ship drops out of warp, and as you drop out of warp, Gurkhan, you note something down in engineering. So I'm going to just send that to you now. There you go.
Gurkhan to Captain.
Down here.
Captain, we are receiving interference with our shield and our warp drive. We cannot establish a warp bubble, and the shields have 50% power at best.
Oh, that's bad. Prioritize on the shields, just in case we have to go near the Jovian. Secondary will be warp drive. Impulse isn't full?
Impulse appears to be at full, Captain.
Very good. Sofek and Lieutenant Tell?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Perhaps you could scan the system.
Oh my God. So you guys all hear an audible just like, oh, Beagle is just crushed. That first time off, you remember Tell's name. And Beagle's been here for it took a good year before you remembered his name. Oh, he even was outranking Tell. He was having a good day.
When I sense that from Beagle, I look at him and I go, he's got a name tag.
I was gonna say maybe we've discovered that 3 letters is how many letters the captain can remember and keep.
Also probable. Anyways,
it's the second syllable onward that he has problems with.
That's enough sass from the Vulcan. Tell him. So maybe you could scan the system and figure out what's wrong with our warp, what's decreasing our warp capabilities and our shields.
Sure. So, Lieutenant Tell would like to make a sensor scan of the immediately surrounding space. What should I use for that?
I would like that to be, please, a science and... Oh, God, where'd your character sheet go? Tim closed it because he's pretty. Let's open up Beagles. Back to the chat. Sorry, folks. All the windows. I don't know how I did this without 2 monitors. How did I do this at the table, guys? Okay, I would like you to make, please, we're going to do a reason and science. And
Sofek will assist.
Okay, and the ship can roll with sensors as well if you wish.
Yep. Sensors and science?
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
Those 2 20s?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Huh. Alright, ship supports. See if we can save some of this. Ship gets 1 support.
Okay. So it's just enough. You do not make any any extra momentum.
Breakthrough.
And in fact, Kedron, as you kind of like, your fingers fly over Science 2, and you hit that, there's this big red button that literally just says "Do not press," like kind of like just pops up on your station, just as you're kind of like about to slam down, and you hit this big red button. You hear Beagle kind of snicker, but not really, as he like closes the door. You only hear that, Kedron. No one else does. Yezikov, torpedoes launch, and phasers are armed.
Like, with the...
Yep.
like, start whirling around.
Shields are
What's
up.
happening? What did you press?
Yeah. However, Kedron, you do actually get the information that you want as well. But you've activated all the defense systems with that big red button you hit.
Let's scan that sector of space and shoot at it simultaneously.
Excuse me, Captain. That was unintentional on my part.
Captain,
don't
was
know
Beagle
why
at the science station recently?
He was.
He wasn't.
I do not know what they are teaching you in the academy now, but when you see giant red button, they do not say... It says, do not push. Do not push.
Computer,
Do not
cancel red
push.
alert.
Red
I'm
alert
assuming
canceled.
Beagle's already left the bridge.
We're gonna have to have those photon torpedoes get destroyed.
I thought this was genetically coded to me, too. How did you even praise it?
Okay. Did that torpedo hit anything?
No, so it just kind of went out into space. It was just because he's got complications. So he just like activated his complications, and you guys have been teasing me about that big red button, so I wanted to finally use it against you.
Yep. Not only that, but we probably alerted everybody for the next few sectors.
Oh yeah, like you just kind of
Right.
like lotus blossom, right? Like
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, mile.
So Frank, in the meantime, could you keep a scan on the exterior space to see if we're going to have any company? Lieutenant Tell, everybody gets one.
So Lieutenant Tell,
Yes, Captain,
I gave you your information you did receive in the Discord chat there for you, and your sent you a message.
Yes, Captain, I appreciate your indulgence. Won't happen again. But we did manage to find the information we were scanning for. It appears there are pockets of broken subspace throughout the system, coming from one of the moons.
I assume we know which moon?
I think so.
It'll take another scan.
Would
Everything is
you
quite...
like me to attempt more in-depth scans, sir?
Yes, that's interesting. I mean, they got eight moons with plant life and a broken subspace sector. I'd like to know more. Have at it.
There's a whole bunch of people in chat wishing me happy birthday. Thank you, everybody.
Kedron would this time sort of defer to Lieutenant Sofek after committing that faux pas.
Doesn't want to hit the button again.
Yeah. Looking for some kind of...
I shall show you my console setup more in depth this time, Lieutenant.
I'd appreciate that, sir.
Let's see. So reason science again.
We started this party with a bang.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you wanted to take the lead and I could assist, and then perhaps I could get a better sense of bridge operations on the Haida.
So Sofek will take the findings from the first scan and narrow it down to the moons that we have detected the vegetation growth on. Basically the areas of interest, ignoring the mundane that we found the first time.
Yezikov, if we go to one of the moons, please don't punt a tribble again.
Since there's been enough violence already.
I'm assuming the ship's assisting.
Yes.
We haven't done this in a while, but what are our modular labs set up for?
You had astrophysics.
Okay, so this would count as the focus then.
Mm-hmm.
If I do roll high enough, which I don't, but still succeeding.
Let's see. I'm going to use my, just because I know it will annoy Tim, I'm going to use my technical expertise to re-roll the no success dice that I got.
Okay. Okay.
So that will be 4 successes total.
All right. So you can add 1 momentum to the pool. Skwxwu, you the disturbances are coming from one of the. I sent you a message in your chat, so you can sort out the 8 different planets with planet life. It's coming from one of the second ones. You know, the 2 that I sent. There's like 2. It's one of those 2, not one of the 6.
Captain, of the 8 moons that have vegetation on them, 6 are class L and 2 are class M. It is one of the class M moons that the subspace distortions are originating from.
And I would like to just point out, just so you guys have a like Star Trek version of how rare this is, and for anyone who's watching, class M planets are like a dime a dozen in Star Trek in general. So the fact that like even Earth's system only has 1, right? So to have 2 on the moons and 6 class L, which are easily terraformed planets, so they're the ones that are like in Star Trek, they're heavy vegetation, but no plant or no animal life. That's what you're experiencing. So it's like, I don't know, how do I put it in Star Wars?
It's unusual
terms?
to be
really
a
unusual.
natural phenomenon.
Yeah, it's really unusual, and it's very
It's
rare,
unusual, you know, same way as like having a planet that's all desert.
Yeah, exactly.
Several planets that are all desert.
All surrounding one planet.
Yeah.
These are all moons, remember?
These are all moons, exactly. So these
Class
8
M moons are even rarer.
Yeah, that's right. And these 8 moons are sort of spread out among the 4 different Jovian planets. So we're just gonna like narrow it down.
Oh, so they're not even around one of the Jovian planets.
No,
they're,
it's spread out through the
spread
system.
among
Yeah,
all of them. Huh.
yeah.
That makes it even more unusual.
You betcha.
Well, let's find out why.
Okay.
Sarah, set a course to that moon. Go to minimum safe distance, 1/4 impulse.
You
All
got
right.
it, sir.
As you do that, I need everybody to please give me a fitness and security roll as the ship is slammed into with something that drops the shields and blows almost every console on the bridge. Roll those fitness and security rolls as we go to our intro, please. All right, and we're back, and I did the wrong intro, man. I'm so sorry. So our guest is Fred Love, and the episode title is Shadow Nebula. I'm really sorry. I'm all sorts of pretty tonight. This is what happens when you have too many birthday donuts.
Happy birthday,
yeah, exactly. Jesus. Anyways, shikey. Okay. So how do we do on those rolls? Let's see. We got Skwxwu got 2, Yizikov got 1, Zanny got 2, Ross got 1, Kedrin got 1, Gurkhan got 2. Okay. So Kedron, Ross, and Yezikov, you're all going to take 3 stress as you're slammed against the bulkheads. Ross, you're thrown around down in medical bay, and you got like the reports start coming in. Wounded are on their way, Ross. And on the bridge.
I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna report to the bridge. Captain, shields down. Inertial dampeners offline.
Yep.
Well, that's nothing new. Yesikov, set rep, down report, all the things. Sofa, Kel, what did we tell? Kel, you, new guy. What did we just run into?
First assumption, Captain, subspace Eddie.
Jessica was like picking herself off of the ground and just like cracks her nose back into place and gets back to her like station and starts scanning for threats, I guess.
I'm gonna give you a tactical report of the ship, so damage report. And stuff like that, okay.
Shall I start applying breaches to our vessel?
Yeah, 1 breach on structure, 1 breach on shields.
We don't have shields, so I'm gonna assume you mean engines.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, because our shields are completely down. You said.
Yeah.
So we have no shields. So 1 on structure, 1 on engine because our warp core's down.
Yep. Okay, that works.
Warp drive.
Okay, Leah, there's
Are we
yours.
stuck?
All right.
Nope, just something hit you.
We'll never be stuck as long as Gurkhan's on board.
So we have weapons down, shields down, breaches on decks 3, 4, and 8.
Great. So we're blind and defenseless?
It would seem so, sir, yes.
Gurkhan, send engineering teams, planetoids as you see fit. You know what to do.
Hi, Captain.
Okay, so Gurkhan, can I please get a what are we gonna do for repair? How do you want to repair things, Gurkhan? Let's do a control and command first, for you to get your kind of like focus in to figure out what you need to fix first. Sofek, you and Tell were ordered to figure out what that was. So why don't I get some science rolls from you two? And Dr. Doug, there are wounded coming in. So can I please get control and medicine from you as you do the same thing? So it's kind of like setting up your triage, and then and then you'll kick in. No, control and command for you as well, Dr. Doug, and then you can start healing. For now, it's kind of like sorting out who's going where, what nurses are doing what. You've lost Yezikov.
Jeez. Oh, man.
Before any of this, I would like to issue a statement to the ship. General, just a little rousing speech. We've been here before, nothing new. Just basically to let me roll a couple dice and give us some momentum.
Yeah, okay.
It's a command, and I almost never use this. It's a command and control roll for the captain.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just 2 dice. Here we go.
Nice.
So
one momentum into the pool.
We get 1 momentum in the pool.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna make my roll while using one of those momentum.
And I'm gonna give you your
There's some more momentum for you guys.
All right, so I'm gonna give you your determinations. So your 1 determination is to explore strange new worlds, and the second one tonight is gonna be don't break it. God damn it.
Oh.
Well, screw the prime directive. Got it.
I mean,
Shrugs. All right.
Par for the course, really.
So, Dr. Doug, there are more people coming in than you were kind of ready for. You're not overwhelmed. You're not inept, but you're gonna have a complication on your sort of first triage check because you're so distracted by everyone else coming in that you're just like, whoa, what's going on? You weren't right. Pediatrics to running a starship. You're like, it's a big jump, right?
He also did just get thrown around. He's probably like,
He did, yeah. He's a little jostled.
Yeah, probably.
A minor concussion, no big deal, right?
All of his lollipops are on the floor.
Failure, so here's the test.
All of his candies all over the floor, and he's upset about that.
I swallowed one earlier. It wasn't good.
All right, and Gurkhan, yeah, you are a master at getting you're ready for this. You got your engineering section is a tight run.
I rule engineering with an iron fist.
He's always
Literally, I have a gauntlet.
You literally have a
Gauntlet that I punch
He
people.
just smashes it on the console and wants people's attention.
There's a big metal
like a
plate,
gavel.
so he's got one of those like big Klingon metal plates right on the console, so he can do the judge and jury.
Well, normally we do it when we sing tunes for a good time. Singing Klingon war chants, right?
That's how you keep the beat.
Okay, less.
I imagine you're the only one singing.
They all
No,
sound the
I
same
think
anyway.
Gallic would
Just
sing
have to-
too. Our
The
Tellarite.
Tellarite would sing, yeah.
He
Okay.
doesn't know the words.
So let's.
if only to keep Gurkhan happy.
You only need one word, K-less.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's go back up to the top. Those who are doing sensor checks, let's get your sensor checks, please. Gurkhan.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
Lieutenant Sofek, this might be an opportune moment to point out that I happen to have a background in subspace mechanics, and it has been a focus of mine since my academy days.
I will let you take the lead on this one then, Lieutenant, as that is the most likely object that collided with us.
I agree with your assessment.
All right, so I'm going to get you to give me a science and... No, sorry, I do this all the time. Let's do a reason and science, please. And your sensors can roll with the ship. Somebody wants to roll the ship.
Mm-hmm. And Sofek will be assisting.
Oh, my God.
Make sure there's no more button hits.
Yeah. There's definitely no more button hits. All right. Lieutenant Tell, you're able to determine that it is coming from the surface of the planet originally, and you can detect some really old ruins there. And there are pockets of sort of like broken, leaking subspace sort of scattered throughout the whole system. It's really focused right where you guys are, and it's wreaking havoc with your sensors. So even though this was like a difficult task to check, you guys are still going to get all your, because you got a ship that's basically built like one giant sensor pod. Like this, the Cheyenne is like a, yeah, and they put their modular sensor on it, and it's just like the thing lights up like a radar Christmas tree. So yeah, you're able to figure out that that's where it's coming from. So I'll let you pass that on to the crew.
So there's one moon that looks like it has some ruins on it, and that seems to be the source of the subspace problems. Did I get that right?
Yeah. So, but I want to just correct one thing. Of the moons that have like some of that we've determined so far, the one that has the problems has ruins. I want to put it that way. It's just the way you worded it is kind of important in this one sort of mini scenario.
Okay. Captain, it seems that the subspace interference is emanating from one of these moons. I'm also detecting ruins that would indicate some sort of former civilization on that moon as well.
And it is one of the Class M moons.
Interesting. I'm going to guess that the transporter's down.
Yep.
And we're probably too far away anyways.
You could probably get... your impulse engines still work. And everything is holding thus far as like Gurkhan's like crazy roll for his team. So you got your emergency shields and stuff like that up, and bulkheads are going. Leah, did I give you the information? Yeah, I did. Didn't I send you some information?
Only weapons down, shields down, breaches on deck 3, 4, and 8.
Oh, okay. Give me a sec. I'll give you more. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, right. Way to go, Tim.
So it was a subspace rupture that we hit with the ship.
Would you like to spend? Would you like to ask some questions?
For free?
Or was that your free one?
Oh, is that your free one?
Well, technically I don't have any free ones because I wasn't the one who did the sensor rolls. I'm just finding out because I thought that's what we were doing the sensors to try and figure out what hit us.
Yeah. So I think a better way to, something hit you. You didn't run into something.
Okay.
Well, somebody might want to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
I don't want to move the ship until I know.
Okay. No, it's just I thought that's what the roll we just did was for.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was. Yeah. So you got hit. You got hit with a big kind of like, I don't know, like a ball of subspace. It's like something hit you physically to do that damage.
Okay. And you were saying that it looks like there's multiple of these subspace bubbles around the ship.
More like so Sofek, the ship got hit like it got hit like as if it were hit with a torpedo.
Okay, so it wasn't a static thing.
No. And throughout the system, you're finding pockets of subspace that seem to be like breaking through into normal space. So it's like something in this has ruined sort of normal space in this system, and subspace is leaking in, and whatever hit you in subspace.
Kind of Sofek, I wonder if perhaps our systems attracted that burst of subspace, or if perhaps some kind of intelligence used it and guided it to our ship. Just theorizing out loud here.
That could indicate that there is a intelligent life on this moon. However, the ruins could be a automated system that is defending a civilization that is long dead. Captain, I recommend reducing power to all non-essential systems and using maneuvering thrusters, or even going as slower than 1/4 impulse to help minimize our energy output.
You think that's what attracted the subspace eddy, let's call it, or that it was possibly shot at us from that moon?
It is possible, Captain. One other recommendation is that we simply leave the Haida here and we approach on shuttlecraft. The smaller energy source may lessen the chance of being hit. However, I will point out that a smaller shuttlecraft will not have as much survivability as the Haida.
Thanks. That was my first thought.
Sofik, I'm also detecting neutrino emissions throughout the system. And I theorize that it may be from subspace, but you may be able to determine whether that is true or not.
Do we know if can we figure out if those neutrinos might be able to tell us if one of those subspace, whatever they are coming close to us, so we might avoid it?
Interesting.
Possibly.
If they're linked.
All right, so why don't we get a roll from Yezikov and Tell, since Tell is focusing on the subspace at the moment. In the meantime, can I please get we're going to do a medicine check for Dr. Doug. You're getting some really, you're getting a lot of burns in down here in sickbay. They're not like you'd expect that from explosions from consoles and such, but you'd expect minor scenarios, right? Like it hit hard, but it didn't do it made breaches, but it didn't take out ships. It's not like you got hit by the Borg slicing beam, right? But you're noticing some pretty serious damage. So can I get a reason and medicine from you, please? As you're working away on the crew in sickbay.
So does this complication add to this one then?
Your complication,
From
yes,
before?
will add to this one. Yeah, so you should have a complication of 2.
Come on. Uh-oh. Let's try that again.
Oh, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
Okay. All right. So yeah, there's a lot more damage than you'd kind of expect from just kind of like if what the bridge kind of like message was that you got impacted by, like kind of like even if it were just like it's the wrong kind of damage for what you're expecting. So I'm gonna send you a message of what you're potentially theorizing, and I'll let you deliver it as you need. In the meantime, can I please get that roll from Yezikov and Tell? How do you want to approach this? Gurkhan, I'll get an engineering roll from you, please. Reason and engineering as well, doing the same thing as your team start to report back from the damage.
Another question, though.
Okay.
Does Gurkhan know about that neutrino radiation?
I don't think so yet. You're focusing on your team at the moment.
Okay.
If you're not on the bridge, I don't think I would have sent it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm not going to say anything. I have a talent called I Know My Ship. When repairing the ship or diagnosing anything on the ship, I just get a free D20.
Okay.
Why is the chief?
3 successes.
All right. That's actually what you needed. So.
Sanity Gurkhan, are there birds in engineering?
Oh, wait, sorry, that's 4 successes. I didn't have my focus on.
Okay.
Yeah, there's birds apparently.
Oh, I thought
You
I
just say
hit
it's
my head.
just say it's Gulak.
Yeah.
He's
He's whistling while he works, yeah.
Could you keep him off comp? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
What kind of roll do you need us to do?
Oh, can I please get, because you guys are doing, let's get a reason and science, and sensors can roll.
Oh my god. Can
Or
I like
insight.
support him?
Insight and science? Yes, absolutely.
Like, I don't want to be making the main role here. I know how computer works, but I'm not sure what exactly I should be using. Sophie doesn't really let me on this side of the ship. I usually stay over there.
Just
I'm new here, Lieutenant.
Well. All right.
No time
so,
like present.
Yes. I mean,
This is why
it's
the large red
computers.
buttons are localized to her console.
Yeah, can we review the red button situation again?
Commander Yezikov, could you please disable the red button temporarily?
Yes,
Not that we
sir.
can shoot anything right now.
Yeah, the red button was disabled.
My console just looks like a kindergartner's like how to learn computers like section with big like color coded buttons. I got like sticky notes and stuff. Like Sofac's written me notes being like, if you need to scan, press this button and then this button. My password's like underneath. Like anyway, sorry, yeah.
Don't ever walk up to her with a gun. You're in so much trouble. All right.
There's things that I do very well. Computers is not one of them.
Like face checking corners.
Taking
Tim,
bullets to the face.
Would my subspace mechanics focus apply on this?
Yes.
So yeah, I would be interested in trying to drill down and figure out, whether this was directed at us, if there's any indication that there's intelligence or life here, or if this was just kind of random chance.
All right. Still the
Sorry, I
okay.
hit it twice.
That's okay. So that's okay. We got the first one. That's the
Okay.
important one.
Okay.
Fuck.
Okay. So Yezikov doesn't help, but that's okay. Tell, you got what
It
you
didn't
needed.
make it worse either.
Exactly. Yes. You didn't make it worse. I think it's a better way to put
You
it.
were just standing there like.
So
yes.
Tell, there
Looks
is
good.
there is definitely ruins coming. The neutrinos are probably coming from the pockets of subspace. So like where the subspace is leaking out, you're also noting neutrino emissions. So it looks like it's part of the damage that was done.
Yeah, Lieutenant Yesikov, I think that the neutrinos might have been what caused harm to the ship, and I think that it's intrinsically linked to these subspace anomalies that we're seeing.
I will tell you, though, that you also realize that the neutrino emissions are not coming from the planet's surface or the moon's surface, where this kind of like all sort of this shot or whatever hit you originally came from.
Yeah, that's odd that the neutrinos would come from a different source than the subspace anomalies. I don't know what to make of that.
Unless Sovik has any other information, I think that's the only route left to us is to investigate the surface of this planet. Captain.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I'm a little busy over here. My ship's breaking. What do you want?
Wait, what?
Your to
Where am I?
I'm going
It's like fiddling with the captain's seat console. It's like, oh, this isn't working.
The seat's
Yeah.
moving
Go on to the
back, the
captain.
seat's moving up. The seat's
Just
moving
checking
back,
his
the
email.
seat's moving up.
Yeah.
Captain, are you there?
Yes, Kirkon, what's up? I've got 6 people talking to me. What do you want?
The damage that we were seeing on the ship correlates to a plasma torpedo, Captain. We are under attack.
And we have no shields. And do we think it...
Working on it.
Ross?
Captain, this is the doctor.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, how you do? How's it going up there?
Good. How you doing down there? How's my crew?
It could be better. Are we under attack?
At the moment, yes, it looks like we are.
Okay, I was gonna say because I got a lot of injuries down here that look like they're coming from plasma torpedoes.
Jessica, thanks, Doug. Keep you informed.
You're
doing
welcome.
great
Good luck
work.
up there.
Thank you. Jessica, what fires plasma torpedoes in subspace?
I
Look, I'll give y'all 15
Jessica would
minutes.
probably know that, but I
I'll
don't.
give y'all 15 minutes. Let's
So-
everybody meet in the conference room.
Okay.
So, and we're you guys are on your way. Like you Sarah set the ship off too, right?
Sarah goes full
Yeah.
thrusters
Okay.
towards the planet.
So we're gonna do the
That's
conference
cool.
room as you kind of come into orbit around this moon. So through the conference room window, you see the moon kind of like in the background, nice and lush and green, and you see a whole bunch of like you can see from orbit the size of the cities that used to sprawl this moon. So it's like it was at one point a well-populated place. You can see where the everything has been trying to regrow back, but you know, from space you can see a lot of cool stuff, right? Especially with Star Trek sensors that kind of go through anything. So if we can see it with LiDAR, they can definitely see it in Star Trek. So you're able to kind of pinpoint what you can like make out on this moon's surface, and it does indeed look like there are power sources coming from down here, and I'm gonna let Tull be in the conference room with you because of his skills. And Tull, you're able to actually you were able to use the sensors and pinpoint that it looks like they were using almost like a subspace inversion coils to actually like tap into subspace to provide power for this civilization. And it looks like there's at least one active on the planet's surface.
Yeah, so first of all, I've only ever been led into the conference room to vacuum it. So this is pretty cool to be sitting at the big
It's
kids
lower
table.
deck style.
You could have a lower
Like,
dex
we
momentum
have garbage.
bonus.
Here's the garbage.
Has Lieutenant Tell met Gurkhan yet?
Wait, in the
No.
24th century, we forgot what Roombas are?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Roomba's been
They
renamed
found that
Ensign.
Roombas with
Oh.
AI created an existential threat to all life, so they put 'em
Control
down
took
to
over all
stay-
the Roombas.
NBD.
So like Gurkhan shed so much that we like an industrial strength vacuum in there.
This is shot vac.
Yeah,
Some poor ensign
I have
rushes
to clean
off
out
with
the
this shot
filters.
vac.
It's a rigid shop vac from the 21st century. This high power still needs a plug-in.
Okay, can we keep going for the
Sorry,
story
guys.
music?
Yeah. Sorry.
Tangent. That's what we should call our new episode, Star Trek, Tangential
Tangential.
Science.
But Captain, it looks as if that whatever civilization once lived down there, they use subspace inversion coils to draw power for their civilization. It looks like some of that technology is still operational.
Fascinating.
Khan's
gonna
going to
guess-
speak up because he now knows about the neutrino radiation.
Mhm.
Off you
Captain, I thought this was common knowledge, but neutrino radiation usually indicates the presence of a cloaked vessel.
In the plasma torpedoes, the only civilization we know that uses plasma torpedoes, are the Romulans.
I
But-
was worried you were going to say that.
I mean, it's a high
Do-
probability anytime we do anything there's going to be Romulans, but I don't see why.
Have you met
why
our DM?
It's a
Wait,
Romulan.
wait, but do Romulans cloak their torpedoes?
Mm-mm.
they could be cloaking a base on the planet's surface, I suppose.
Plus, as far as I'm aware, that they can't fire a torpedo while cloaked unless something has changed.
There was one incident back in the 23rd century with a General Chang, sir.
That I'm pretty sure that was classified, and that's Klingon. So moving on.
Tells just la 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 la.
He gently pulls his hair back and looks at the ridges on his forehead.
We'll let slip the dogs of war later. In the meantime, let's focus on what we've got going on now.
Okay.
Lieutenant Tell, do you know if there's anything else we can establish up here? I'm inclined to send an away team.
I absolutely agree. I think that the only way, with all the subspace interference that we're dealing with, the best way to get our answers is to get our eyes down there and conduct some scientific exploration.
Very well. Yesakov, assemble yourself an away team. Take Tell with you. He seems to know what he's doing. I'll be on the bridge trying to figure out how we're going to fix my ship. I think Larkin's kicking around somewhere. Dismissed.
Okay.
Walkers.
So we are gonna have two teams. So I want bridge team and ground team figured out. So rather than the players all playing like two characters and flipping back and forth, I actually want Leah. Since he told you to pick the away team, you can pick two others to go with you. So Tull is probably one. So pick one of the others to go with you. And then the other two will be on the ship, and we'll figure out what characters we're going to use so that we have a nice even team. So that it's not like last game where Sam is left all on his own in a shuttle and the rest of them go off.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens
He
when
was
our
left
covert
alone.
ops trips on a route.
Yeah.
Okay. Yezakov.
Is Sam's ops character available? So you're saying I can pick two people?
Yeah.
Okay, and Tull is I will take Tull. Tell
Tell is one.
Does Sam
and
have an ops character?
Yeah,
So-
Larkin.
yeah, you said he had an ops character.
Yeah. So you have
You
you
are-
have Sam's ops character, or you have the Doctor, which
Right.
is probably not a horrible idea considering you're going into ancient civilization. Gurkhan is also a good possibility because engineering.
Yeah.
Luther?
Pretty much the only character who
Well,
not
we don't
available
really-
to you is Zanny.
Pretty much,
Yeah, that's fair. I am going to. This is stressful.
So I will say that if
First
you
officer
choose,
problems.
well, so
Yeah.
here's the other thing: is if you choose to, you can even not go yourself. Right. So you could say that Gurkhan is taking the Doctor and Tell, for example, and Gurkhan would be in command because he's got rank, and then that's it. Like yeah. Don't think that you have to go.
For sure. Yeah, I am gonna go because I don't think Yesakov would send people to a dangerous planet by themselves.
Okay.
And And would we want to do science to it, or would we want to do medicine to whatever's downstairs?
Science and
Downstairs
medicine are
on-
very, very similar, so don't overthink that part.
Okay.
And Tell is coming
Do
with you.
you want to
Right.
engineer it though?
I don't know. Sorry, guys.
Gurkhan has a chance of turning it off, but
Here,
Gurkhan's needed
I'll
on the
help
ship
ya.
to fix it.
Yeah.
I'll help you. The Gurkhan can't
Sure.
go with you. He's
Okay,
got to stay.
great.
That's Zanny's only thing. He
Okay.
needs
I'll
him to
take
fix
Sofek.
fix the boat.
Sorry, Doug. You got to fix the people that have plasma
That's fine.
burns.
Okay, so Doug and Gurkhan and Zanny, you're staying on the ship, and Yezikov, Sofek, and Tell, you're going down to the planet. Okay, so the three of you, we're gonna let you. Are you gonna use? Are you gonna add a complication because you're spending time getting suits, or are you just gonna beam down? Everything tracks as safe so far.
Well, we can't bring. We have to take a
So I've been-
complication to
I've
bring
been-
EV suits.
Yeah, I've been doing it easy for you guys because I never made you spend the time to put your suits on. I just let you have them, but it's actually like
Okay.
spending a resource to always use them.
Oh.
So it makes things a little more
Bummer.
difficult because you're pushing the time limits.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. And we've scanned it. It's a Class M planet,
It is,
so yeah,
yeah.
we'll just beam down.
Yeah, and there's no toxins. Nothing is detectable.
I'm bringing a plasma rifle.
All right.
And then I recommend you guys bring whatever you guys need.
So
Sophie, do you have any engineering background?
I can reroute a EPS power console.
Beagle walks by the open transporter room. I do. And keeps going.
Beagle, stop touching my console.
Beagle's
Big
got
to
a
work.
book.
Sorry.
Zanny's Beagle, how's that project coming?
Ah, it's coming. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, I'll bring an engineering kit. I'll be like, Kirkon, can I have one of these?
Yeah.
I can throw a spanner at things. The Gurkhan
me,
style
yeah.
of engineering.
That's right. Okay.
Romulan components, Starfleet components, just hit it with a wrench.
So Gurkhan, are you gonna move your station to the bridge then?
Yeah, because I'm commanding the team. I'm not physically working
Great.
as
Okay.
much. I got Galek specifically on the shields.
All right.
We're focusing on shields first because I don't want to get hit with another torpedo.
Yeah.
And shields first, then warp drive so we can run
Okay.
if need be.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm on the bridge.
All right. Sounds good.
I'm going to give Gurkhan the con after the way team beams down and go visit Dr. Doug, see how my crew's doing.
Okay, so let's do that first as Yezikov. So we're going to do the typical Star Trek Yezikov and Tell and Sofek dematerialize off the transporter pad. And before you start to rematerialize, the scene cuts to Zanny walking into medbay. Just as Gurkhan walks onto the bridge. You know, we're going to do one of those newer sort of styles where it's like two screens and it kind of folds into one, because I thought that was kind of cool. Anyways.
Dr. Doug, how's it
Welcome.
going in here?
Welcome, Captain. Are you hurt?
No more than
Yes.
usual.
I'm gonna start scanning you regardless of what you say.
And Dr. Doug, you've always got a sucker in your mouth, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned that you saw plasma burns.
Yep, that's correct.
Have you found any particular signature about those burns, or are they just pretty standard, typical?
No, they're not. They're not standard. They're from like a plasma torpedo.
Yeah. You guys have
Anyway.
Sorry, I'm gonna just. You have a pretty decent sized saucer section, so you got your pick of what your med bay looks like. Do you want the one in the background there? Is that what your med bay looks like?
I don't honestly know what it's from.
I mean, that's a pretty decent size. It's got like 6 beds, it looks like.
It seems like it's got a lot. Yeah.
I think that's from the Star Trek movie, like the Star Trek, like the actual Star Trek. The
Oh, maybe,
not
yeah.
the original one, but like the reboot.
Just to say, that's not the original one.
No,
Yeah. I mean, from the
not
fact
enough
that it's got
lens flare for the
2
reboot.
doors. Yeah.
it's a good size. All right.
It's got 2 doors, so it's a good size one.
Yeah, so Zanny, you see people on beds, all bio beds all around. No one's died, so bonus to theirs. But there are some serious injuries. You got a couple crew that are going to be off for a while, healing.
Fair enough. Dr. Doug, is there any other information you can give me about the wounded?
Dr. Doug, why don't you give me a medicine? I'll let you pick. You can pick insight and medicine or reason and medicine. And then the information will be delivered kind of like how you either know it or you think it. Do you know what I mean? You're either.
I think I'll do. I mean, they're both pretty much the same. I think it's more like insight though, since I'm like
All right.
trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Can I use a focus of let's do emergency medicine?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So, Dr. Doug, the weird part about it is, well, it looks like they are. It looks like while they are showing signs of the torpedo plasma burns, and like your typical kind of like explosion from a console type damage. They're emitting low res neutrino emissions, like something else is kind of like, and it's wearing off as time goes on. It's not permanent, but it does seem to be associated with the damage they took.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yes, indeed. Well, Dr. Doug, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing well. Sort of turn around and go, how are you doing? This is your first time in a situation like this, isn't it?
Yeah, on a starship, sure, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Tim's got a question to ask later.
I look at him and go, well, you're doing fine, and if you need anything, don't hesitate to call. And I'll leave the med bay.
Thanks, Captain.
Dr. Doug has flashbacks to the snowball fight from 40 years ago as a child. Bloody noses everywhere. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Zanny to Gurkhan.
Gurkhan here.
Apparently some of our wounded are emitting low levels of neutrinos that are actually dissipating over time. Perhaps you could work on something to help protect us.
You get the shields up, we will try our best. The shields
Zanny out.
will help a lot.
Zanny out.
Yeah, Gurkhan's
Head
like,
back to the bridge.
Captain?
Okay, Gurkhan, so while this happens, can I get an insight and engineering from you as well, please?
Still repairing the ship, or?
No, this is trying to figure out what Zanny just asked you. Doing
Okay.
kind of like just taking a guess, shot in the dark type engineering style.
So that one doesn't count for I know my ship, but I'm going to use
No.
momentum.
Okay, so 3 dice?
No focus on this.
No, probably not. Maybe. Ooh, nice. All right, so Gurkhan, you think the shields might help, but no more or than what happened. Like you had your shields up when the last one hit you, right? So
Yeah.
it's almost like it went through the shields. It didn't altogether because it did resist some of it. Maybe the shields being at full rather than half. So if you want shields up, you're gonna have to focus on trying to get them to like get around the disturbance that's in this system that you detected right near the beginning.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can integrate some of the technology from our gravimetric fields.
Ah, okay. From
To
when
try
you
to,
guys were doing
it'll drain a lot of our power in my mind because we have both our deflectors going at the same time.
Okay.
But hopefully that'll push stuff away from us via a little bit with gravity.
Okay, so I'll let you work on that. We're going to cut to the planet. So you rematerialize Sofek, Tel, and Yezikov. And around you is a beautiful, well, it's like you can hear the birds in the background. You can see the lush trees starting to like overgrow through these ancient buildings that look like a mix between like think like when we always have these kind of like comments about like ancient Babylon, like those kind of like stylized buildings that are always stone and just ornate and beautiful, but modernized. So it's made to look like that, and it's probably like not actually like clay and stone. Does that make sense? Like it's overly Star Trek is what I'm saying to you right now. Like it's just unnecessarily original series. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like Kirk lost his memory and fell in love with that lady.
Yeah.
The ancient civilization.
Yeah. Actually, that's actually very close. Except, Yezikov, as soon as you land, and Sofek, you both get a little bit of deja vu.
I'll like lean to Sofak and be like, "Do you recognize this? This seems familiar."
There are many overgrown ruins throughout the galaxy, Commander.
I guess I suppose so.
Can one,
My playing tricks on me.
can one of you give me what would this be? Reason and command.
That's all you, Sofak.
Or insight and command, because you're like recalling memory. I would even allow presence and command if you wanted to in this case.
Yep, going with insight. It's higher than presence.
All right. So between the two of you, you know that you've seen this kind of tech before.
Only we had pocket computers.
But
I
it's-
start scanning it with my tricorder.
Sofak's already pulled his one out. He's very like Data or Spock.
Google
like,
image
oh, look,
search.
rematerialized. Dude. No,
Yeah.
no.
So tell, while they're doing that, what are you doing?
I'm pretty psyched because this is sort of my first away mission, and just
Oh
taking
my
in
God.
these ruins around me.
Oh my
looking
God!
at-
Outside.
Right, yeah. I'm looking at Yezikov and Sofek, and I'm like, I just want to thank you for having the confidence in me to take me on this mission. I mean, this is gonna be sick. I mean, we've got this ruins, a long dead civilization. There's still a power source around here. I mean, what if we find one of the representatives of the civilization? What if they're still alive? What if we can communicate with them?
Yezikov slowly turns around. And no, but then looks at him, and I'm like, "Is this your first away mission?"
Oh yeah, this is sick, right?
Yeah,
Sofak just walks by. You have most experience with Beagle. Have fun.
Like, do you actually know the way Yezikov looks? Like, what her stature is?
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
it's true. Yesco's like 6'9", and blonde, very Russian looking, like Dolph Lundgren.
Like
But
Dolph
limp.
Lundgren, the lady that trained him in Rocky
Yeah.
4.
Dolph
Yes.
Lundgren meets Tasha Yar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But bigger than
Yeah.
both combined.
And then she's got some sick scarring on the side of her face, from torture. So it's like she comes across as very like terse and maybe like looks angry at this point, but like she's not. She's just like, "Is this your first away mission?" All right. Well, I assume you're well versed on Starfleet protocol in away missions. You're equipped and
Oh yeah, I've read the book. I got all the gear. Strange New Worlds, yeah.
yes. My personal tip would be to check around corners before you go around them. Yes, try not to touch anything. You
It's good.
don't know what it is.
Tricorder rolls all around, except
Alright.
for even Tull's, because Tull's got his. Oh, I can just imagine his is open and it's being waved around as he's like.
Gesticulating wildly.
He sees the commanding officers taking scans. Like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
We got a mission.
Yeah.
Of course.
What's the
Oh,
tricorder roll?
So you can use reason, and I'd actually let you use command if you've got tricorder as a you should have it on the other command. Yeah, reason and command, or reason and science.
I heard reason and science. I'm rolling.
Before he changes his mind. Yessikov like flips open her tricorder and then pulls out
So-
the like manual on how to use it and starts
no,
like
Yezikov, you could use security on this one because you're checking for security aspects of it, right? So
Oh, okay.
you wouldn't be scanning for the science part. You'd be scanning for weapons. You'd be scanning for the subspace pockets. You'd be scanning for whatever, right? So in this case, you could use reason and security. And Tull, great, got it. Reason and science, excellent. Okay, so Sofek is distracted by Tull's excitement, although Sofek will never admit that. And Yezikov, you're almost busy being worried for Tull now. Tell. And Tell, you're able to figure out that these ruins, they're too clean to be ruins.
You know, it's pretty remarkable how well kept these structures are, considering we thought that this was a long dead society. This place is clean. It seems like it's been maintained. Curious.
Yeah, but left to look old.
Almost like this is artificially like a ruse. Like they want us to think this is super old, but it's not. What a mystery.
Can we determine
good.
how old the materials are? Science people.
Yeah, it's about 10,000 Suffolk.
Approximately
10,000.
10,000 years old, Commander. Although I will say, the lieutenant's use of the word ruse, we've had quite an experience with a species that is very fond of ruses.
So the power is coming from inside that building over there. You can go take a peek if you wish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll go over. As we go over, can I just like look at are the stones or materials or whatever they're covered in like markings? Is it a language? Like.
Oh yeah. Do you remember when you guys were in that giant space station? That was around remember the giant space station that was floating around that one gas
giant
planet
aliens?
Punted a tribble.
with the windmill?
With the where I punted the tribble?
No.
Okay.
Was it the one with the aliens sucking on the core? Like the third dimension aliens? Fourth dimension?
No.
We need a reference book.
I know, right? I'm gonna have to start making reference book. So this is the one that was taking power. It was taking gas from the gas giant in, creating power, and it was launching stuff out. It was like digging into it was a huge big cone. It looked kind of like the Planet Killer.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember who that belonged to?
The leaders.
They're Khan's enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same language that you're seeing on the wall now. That's why you had deja vu.
Which are like the proto
They're the
Klingons?
bug people. They're the bug people.
Oh right.
They're the
Oh
ones
god,
that-
the clacks. Oh god.
No.
Not the clacks.
No, not the clacks.
Okay.
The Tyranids, in essence.
Oh, okay.
Herc are the ones that the Klingons were conquered by.
Right.
way
Yeah,
back.
just rose up and
Yeah.
liberated them.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what you see on these buildings. And because we're a little bit behind, I'm gonna narrate what happens to the three of you. So you kind of peek in, and as you look down, the camera does kind of like from your point of view open and into this kind of like it's a larger, looks like a larger engineering hangar. And you can see a whole bunch of active consoles, ancient active consoles, mixed with new active consoles, and kind of power conduits going all over the place. And you see that like really bright, oddly colored, flickering light in the center from like some sort of power source that you're not sure what. And Tull's smile is bigger than his head as he kind of like shows his like vibrating tricorder to you, and it's just like reading all these subspace readings that I'm sure Yezikov is kind of like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Is it making noise? Because if it's making noise,
No,
I'm just gonna like grab it.
Yeah, you
bring it down.
You slowly put it on silent, like just yeah. And the camera continues to pan down, and we flip up to the ship. Up at the ship, you guys are on the bridge, and all your proximity alarms go off. As your TAC officer, who's there, you know what, it's Beagle. Let's be honest, Beagle is full on just like, sir, something's decloaking off the port bow.
Red alert!
And you go to red alert. None of your shields can go up as they're not fixed yet. Your weapons are still down. And Romulan Warbird decloaks as we snap down to below, and you see Romulans working on the consoles. That is where we're going to every time.
This is my shock face.
What's gonna happen when Tim creates new bad guys?
Son of cutscene.
Man, everyone expects Romulans.
You
I
create
know.
new bad guys. We're just trying to take the mask off the Romulans.
Yeah.
We know you're Romulans.
All right, we're gonna take our 10-minute break as they chide into me for more Romulans, and we'll be back then. Enjoy the music from Norse Foundry. It's free to stream. Please go go and stream it if you want. They make new music for us all the time. It's really good. They just put out 2 new albums. And we'll be back in 10 minutes. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to Star Trek Lost Voyages. I am the GM Tim, and with us tonight is Fred Love. Fred, thanks for joining us tonight. Welcome to the team. Playing Kedron Tell, the Lieutenant Junior Grade Trill Officer, who is a subspace specialist and happened to be on the bridge when he broke it. I mean, when it broke. He didn't do it. He didn't do it at all.
I didn't know about the red button regulations.
Yeah. Beagle didn't warn you about the red button. Don't never touch the red button. Yezikov made it, and then I was never allowed to touch it. So just to give a quick recap, we've got Tel and Skwxwu and Yezikov. You're down on the planet's surface of this, the moon's surface, I guess, of a Class M moon surrounding a Jovian planet. You're sort of inside of an ancient structure. You see designs from the Herc, which you have seen before in one of your earlier missions in this sort of region of space that you've been in. And as you're trying to figure out where this power supply that's subspace induction coil created, you see Romulans working with their tech mixed with the old Herc tech. Now, Yezikov and Skwxwu, you both remember how dangerous that Herc tech was. You guys turned it on and then quickly realized how bad a decision that was, and had to call an entire science ship in to try and figure out what to do next. So they've been working on that. And you see Romulans sort of literally fiddling with it. Meanwhile, in space, as you discovered that, a Romulan warbird decloaked in front of Zanny and the bridge in front of Zanny and the USS Haida. And Zanny, you've got Gurkhan and Dr. Ross has joined you on the bridge to give a command assist. His teams are almost done dealing with the injured that were there before. And we're going to start with you three on the bridge. So we come back doing that, back from commercial break where we left off. It was the exact same face where the thing decloaks. And so the ship again decloaks, even though it already has. And it goes back to the bridge and it shows Zanny again looking all shocked and at the same time not shocked.
More like annoyed shock. Kind of disgusted.
Yeah. Beagle is kind of got the same look on his face, but he waits to see it on you before he copies it. Yeah.
Gurkhan, crit sit rep. How long before we have shields, weapons, warp, anything?
Warp is not possible right now, Gurkhan. There's too much damage from subspace to the system. Shields, you could probably get back up to 50%. Weapons, it's going to take a little bit longer, maybe another hour.
Captain, we'll have shields at 50% momentarily. Weapons within an hour. Warp, though, that might be a day or more, sir.
If you can get those weapons ready any sooner, that would be great. Beagle, open hailing frequencies.
Okay. So, as you do, Gurkhan, I'll let you make a check to see if you can speed up the weapons.
Yeah.
So why don't you give me, control and engineering? I think control and engineering would be all right for that one, yeah?
Speed up the weapons. I'm going to use my jury rig ability.
Really?
And make it daring and engineering.
Okay.
That gives me a third die roll.
It does. For anyone watching, the reason that's significant is because when you use the jury rig as a skill, once it's used, it's broken usually more than what happened before. So he could actually get the weapons ready, but then they might burn out really badly. So.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to use that. Okay, I'm going to use a determination as well.
Okay.
I'm going to use the violence of action as peace of mind.
Interesting.
I'm going to see if I keep that because he knows what they're going to bring. He knows what they're going to do.
Okay.
He knows what they're capable of. So
and you're
I'm
a
going
veteran,
to
so you're going to roll again. Yeah, roll a d6.
Nope, I lose it.
All right.
So I don't maintain it. Click on Gurkhan, and then let's see what I roll.
That's a lot of dice. Oh, I see a 20 there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to use cautious engineering to re-roll that.
You kind of hit a few buttons, and everyone on the bridge hears just like. Yeah.
I'm like,
Everyone
wait,
slowly
sorry.
looks over at Gurkhan. He's like, never mind.
Nope, we do not need to activate the phaser lotus.
Okay, so Gurkhan, you're probably going to be able to shave about half the time off. So probably within 30 minutes, not an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does mean that one good solid hit to you could blow your entire system out to like days repair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the goal is to maintain an air of say threat to the enemy vessel, so they don't. I mean, mutually assured destruction. You fire at us, we fire at you. Rather than you fire at us, we just sit here and take it.
Fair enough. Okay, so as the screen materializes, it does so in such a way that shows, let's say, damage to their end as well. So it's got like that static flicker, and you see Mevin standing on the bridge. Your old friend, Commander Mevin. She's the Romulan that you guys have met with multiple times throughout the seasons. And she's got her hair is kind of like doing that like that, kind of like a couple pieces are off, like, you know, when a Romulan has like a bad hair day and it's like just pristine otherwise, and then always it's like, it kind of looks like my hair right now, like it's got that bit just like sticking almost straight up right from her forehead. And she just looks over, she's like, you, of course it
Evan?
had to be you.
You do something with your hair, looks different.
Oh, Zanny, always with the quick think, the quick fix. You're so funny. Leave this system and I won't destroy your ship.
Yada, 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 yada. I have a feeling that if you're here and looking like that you might be in a similar boat to we are. How's that subspace Eddie treating you?
Oh, you just cut out, Sam.
So I'm gonna look back at Gurkhan and give him the nod, like, scan their ship, see what's going on over there.
So you're using that like actual tech as like a cut the
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Like,
you see her on the screen like, I can't hear you. What?
Yeah.
What?
And it's just me going.
Yeah.
I go back to my console and push a button. I'm like, Mevin? Oh, there you are. Our communications are just, they're off. All
right, so what do you want me to roll for the scan?
So what are you scanning for?
I am scanning for any damage on the vessel, and I am scanning to see if their weapons are active.
So I'm not even going to make you scan. Gurkhan, their weapons are not active, and you can see damage on their bridge. Like it looks like they got hit with, like you can see. So on the outside of the ship, you don't see any outside damage except for the front nose part. You know that nose cone the Romulan warbirds, the Daenerys have, the beak. Yeah. So you see massive scarring on the torpedo launcher, and you see consoles out all across the bridge.
All right, I am actually going to put this on our front screen in a little pop-up for the captain to see, so he doesn't look like he's looking at a second screen.
Yeah.
Picture in picture.
Picture in picture. I'm going to be like, basically, it's going to be 3 words. They is hurt.
Old school is new again.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like he's actually looking away from Mevin to get a report.
Okay.
So Mevin, sorry, I always get off track with you. What were you saying about leaving the system? I don't think we can do that. Our warp is out. I'm guessing yours is too.
I know. Just don't play with me today, Zanny. It's just not the day for it. Don't make me destroy you. Please just leave the system now, and no one has to get hurt. We don't need to do our normal song and dance where you pretend that you're right and I prove to you that you're not, and then you leave with your tail tucked behind your Starfleet legs.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. We've been through enough together. Look, we've got our away team on the ground. We can pick them up, but we need to, just sort it out. And maybe in the meantime, while they're having a poke around, they figured out maybe what's going on with the subspace in the system, and it'll help us both out. But all
That's Beagle. That's Beagle in the background.
Beagle's just crying. He's like, I want to shoot them with the red button.
in any case, let's give us a couple hours, and we'll
I'll
get
give you 30 minutes, and then
thing.
she just kind of like click.
Like, Captain, we will have weapons in 30 minutes.
Perfect. We can blow them up then. But before we do that,
we can also remind her that this is the ship that we saved her on.
We don't need to. They as busted as we is, and you know what? It's pretty much their fault. I think they activated whatever was down there. Priorities is get our warp up as fast as possible and make contact with our away team. Dr. Doug, if there's anything you can do about those neutrinos to help us help maintain the crew's status as operational. Also, I have a feeling that the Romulans are going to be hurt, so whatever you figure out, we might be able to help them and get out of this without blowing each other up. Good? Good.
I just want to point out to anyone who's not who's just watching for the first time, DaVinci is a beta Z. So DaVinci has telepathic capabilities. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out there. We're gonna snap. So Doug, why don't I get let's get a medicine check. A reason in medicine, would you say?
Is anyone sitting at the science station?
No, you can totally be there.
I'm gonna sit down at the science station.
Yeah.
On the surface, Sophic just goes. Better not be Beagle.
He's got a pressure sensor on the seat that alerts him every time.
A little button just pops up in his tricorder.
Yeah. Console in use. God damn it. Yeah, let's get a reason in science.
Reason in science. Okay.
You could use medicine too if you want, to be honest.
Yeah, we're looking for what the neutrinos are.
Yeah, you're looking for medical attachment to the neutrinos, right? So.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do medicine on that one. Okay.
So what you're able to see is whatever's caused the damage to the system. So it's almost like the neutrinos are like an after effect, showing that a specific type of rupture in subspace has occurred. So it's kind of like leaking out from this part of subspace. So whatever damaged the crew was in subspace when it hit the ship.
Gotcha. Okay.
Make sense?
It's like the signature of the
type of substance, the layer. Yeah. So one of the things in Star Trek they kind of established as like a gimme was that there's multiple layers to subspace because they needed more reasons to make things happen in it, right? So subspace has, quote, infinite pockets. So this pocket that seems to be tapped in from subspace leaks neutrinos if it's torn into like actual space. So in this case, it's like the call sign for something wrong. Now, the thing that you're noticing is it's the same neutrinos that's coming from the power source. It's the same neutrinos that came from whatever hit the ship. It's the same neutrino source that it's they're all connected somehow.
Okay. Do we know of a specific layer of subspace that does neutrinos, or do like a bunch of different layers?
Sure. Let's say it's layer 3982. Make sure you write that down.
and only that one.
Only that one releases neutrinos into real space when ruptured.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Okay. So we'll snap down to the other, the others. Gurkhan, you weren't supposed to do anything at the moment, were you?
I already made my rolls for fixing the shields and the weapons.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll snap down to the planet. Yezikov, Tel, and Sofek. What's the plan?
So we can see that they have computer stations, right? Do the Romulans have their own computer stations, or are they like hacking into the
No, they've got their own computer stations, and they've got those big like unnecessary power cords that are glowing green lights because Star Trek looks cool, connecting to the old consoles.
How many are there?
How many Romulans? You see 5.
Okay.
The thought process of we can take him flashes across her eyes.
I love that. What that was. Yeah, I love that. Even Matt's only been here for 3 games, and he's like, "Oh God, that was awesome."
Sofek and Tel, if I distract Romulans, would you be able to glean information from their consoles?
Most likely, Commander. It's not the first time we've had to poke around Romulan computers on an alien planet while they're doing something that they probably shouldn't.
Yes. I'm very concerned that they are looking into the... what's it? Herc?
Herc.
They are messing with the Herc technology again. After last time. Alright, I will cause a distraction. Hopefully it will bring them outside, and I will lead them on a merry chase through the woods while you work. Sound good? I didn't bring any plasma grenades, so...
The merry chase through the woods seems to be a running theme lately.
Yeah. Well, I'm big and I'm tall and I'm fast. This is the only thing I do well.
And get shot.
And get shot. I'd rather not do that, though. I have 3 stress already.
She's already...
I did bring the doctor.
Airlocks very well.
Yesikov's already reaching into the mud at her feet to make like war paint and stuff on her face. If they die, they die.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm hoping this plan will work because of plot. So I guess our plan is I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna take a pot shot at one of them, and then I'm gonna run.
A pot shot, you absolutely vaporize one of them because it's you.
Just throw a rock at his head or something.
He'll be dead either way.
Kill him.
It's Yesikov.
Actually, no. I'll take that back. Sorry, Tim. I'm well versed. One of my focuses is Romulan tactics. I know Romulan, and so I'm going to yell in Romulan that the perimeter has been breached and we need forces outside immediately.
Okay.
Using any knowledge of Romulan tactics to know the proper codes or commands or whatever, just bullshit my way through it, kind of thing.
Yeah. You know what? That's awesome, and you're using like one of your actual. This is one of your talents, or?
It's a focus.
Yeah.
I know Romulan tactics, and I know the language Romulan.
So I'll tell you what, because it sounds awesome, if you've got a value that you can activate, I'll let you blow a determination point to just make this happen and narrate it.
I'm not sure if I do. I got no stranger to violence, and survival in the colony.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I gave you.
Knows. Oh, right. Sorry, Tim. I've kind of forgotten. It's like don't break it. So maybe I'll use the urgency of them screwing around with this technology to be like, I need this to happen now.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's cool. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you blow your "don't break this."
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you, so tell us how it looks.
Okay, so I'll instruct Tel and Sofek to kind of hide. I'm like you described it as a dense forest, so I'm sure that they can hide somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like calling out, and as soon as they like come out, I'm going to take a pot shot from behind like a tree, and then yell, "We're under attack!" Like formation 6 Alpha. Sweep like you guys should do like the sweeping pincher like maneuver.
Yeah, so you're pulling the whole like as if there's a whole bunch of people around you and you're yelling orders.
Yeah, so well I'm yelling out specifically a command that would force them to break up and go around. Sorry, it was weird on the camera, but
it's okay, we got it.
and they're like they've broken up into 2 groups if they're following orders, and then they're in the woods now, and I'm just going to like predator style start like trying to pick them off, or at least like kite them away from the area.
Oh yeah, you know what? You get at least one really cool one where you like literally like Spider-Man down
Rambo.
from the trees and just like clock one with the back end of your rifle and then back up into the trees. Like it's like, how does she even do that? Don't ask.
Out here, I'm the law.
Yeah.
Where are they? Turns around, I'm Batman.
He's in the trees.
Tell is both like horrified and amazed all at the same time. best first way team ever.
He's just busy like watching Yazikov from cover, and Sofek just like as the Romulans disappear, Sofek just like grabs him by the collar, like, "Let's go, Lieutenant."
It's not hard to find him because the bush that he's hiding in is just vibrating with excitement. Okay, Sofek and Tel, you get inside the base, inside the structure. It's not a base. As you get inside the structure, the power source is indeed what you detected from orbit. Radiation is not deadly, but it is malfunctioning, so it could be deadly.
Does this power source? Does it look like it's Romulan? That like new power source that they're testing, or is it something? Hey, we found this. We're a poke it with a stick.
That is absolutely what's happening.
All right, of course it is.
Yeah,
they always do that. First it's the Borg cube, and now it's this.
Yeah. So this actually looks like they've tapped in. So this power source looks like it's literally tapped into subspace, and is using the neutrino emissions to power. So it's like an infinite power supply. This thing will never turn off unless it's literally shut down.
Lieutenant, this is so cool. Do you realize what this is? A subspace inversion coil, still functional, but I think it's highly unstable. We don't want to break this.
I agree, and we also do not want it in Romulan hands. I recommend you get to work on attempting to shut it down so that we can safely render it inoperable. I will examine the Romulan consoles to try and determine what they were attempting to do with this, if it was simply power or some sort of weapons test.
Okay. So Tel, give me this is definitely going to be daring and science. This is definitely going to be daring and science. You might want to use a determination to give yourself 2 successes, because you are using your tricorder to translate Romulan and dead language and deal with science that's kind of beyond your control. So, or beyond this is theoretical science as far as Starfleet's concerned, right? So
yeah, so I've got a value. Subspace is a door we've only begun to open. Yes. This is like my specialty, and I'm so excited to be able to use my expertise to solve this big riddle. And so yeah, if I've got a determination to burn, I will do so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what you could use. I gave you don't break it and
Explore Strange New Worlds.
Explore Strange New Worlds. I think. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could use either one. Which one would you like to use?
Don't break it.
Don't
I
break it.
definitely don't want to break this.
Don't break it. Safely shut it down.
Especially after the red button incident.
Yeah.
I want to bring my A game.
All right.
And next time on Lost Voyages, there's a new crew.
That's right.
Dropping warning beacons around this planet, around this solar system.
Apparently, the Haida was immensely destroyed.
Skwxwu, can I get, please, a daring in science from you as well, please? Or insight in science. Insight in science I would let you do because you're trying to figure out what the Romulans were doing, not what the machine was, right?
Yes, I'm examining their consoles.
Yeah, you could totally, I'm totally okay with you doing insight in science.
How much momentum do we have in the pool?
There is 3 momentum in the pool.
Right, I'm going to use 1.
Okay.
Would this be considered study of a computer system?
Yes. Yes,
Excellent. And you know what? Just because I want to get to the bottom of what my, long lost species cousins are doing, I'm also going to spend a determination.
Which one?
And I'm going to use don't break it, damn it.
And which value are you activating to use your determination?
The don't break it, damn it.
Oh, right, okay.
They're poking around with stuff again. They're breaking an entire system now.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. So you're turning the don't break it, damn it, inside. I see. Okay, I see what you're doing with that. Yeah, all right.
At this point, I think we all should get a value that just says, Romulans.
And do I have to do anything special on the roll to spend determination, or do I just roll as usual?
No, you just roll and we add 2 successes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then can my subspace mechanics focus apply?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And you can spend a momentum from the pool if you want to get 3 dice instead of 2.
Yes, I'll take 1.
All right.
So I got 4 successes total.
Okay.
3, but a complication, I think.
Yeah, that's a
20. 5 successes.
So 5 successes and a complication.
Yeah, plus it. Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with Skwxwu. Skwxwu, it looks like the Romulans were trying to copy this tech. It looks like they are trying to use it, utilize it, miniaturize it, and attach it to weaponry.
Oh, shocking.
One of
great
the biggest
leap in logic there.
One of the biggest problems with plasma torpedoes is their power supply. So they require massive amounts of power, which is why Romulans use singularity cores as their power source for their ships. It helps create these weapons. But that's also why Romulans often just use disruptors, is because of the actual power drain it requires. This thing would replace that necessity. So this would allow Romulans to shoot plasma torpedoes from cloak. And if your readings are correct, it might even keep them in subspace.
So they're attempting to shoot torpedoes through subspace so they can't be detected, and then they impact the target.
Yes.
Yep, that's where I was afraid that was going. So effects just like a lot of things just lined up.
And remind me, you were trying to figure out what they were.
He was trying to safely shut down.
You were trying to
I think we want to power this thing down because it's looking unstable.
All right. So as you were doing that, you were going along and just you were just getting it. And it was like, oh, this is there's a part of you that's just thrilled to be doing this, and the other part of you is just like, because you're shutting down. This is you could write the papers.
This could be a magnum opus.
Yeah, you could be teaching at Daystrom with this kind of and then as you're going, you don't go too fast. You're not inept. But you do realize that the way the Romulans have kind of mixed everything together, an alarm goes off. It is overloading. You need to GTFO. It has gone beyond the point of being able to shut down safely. It will be shut down.
Sir, we got to move, and we got to put as much distance between us and this generator as possible.
It'd be a
Well,
subspace
Lieutenant,
explosion.
this is how most of our away missions end. To the exit.
Do you know anything? Wait. I would just like to point out, Skwxwu, you did not tell Yezikov to leave. We're going to go back to the ship. So back on the ship, I
No,
got
we're just leaving the ruins. We'll
Yeah,
get,
okay,
we'll
fair
get
enough.
on the way out.
Yezikov and sorry, not Yezikov.
Just follow the screaming.
Yeah,
You'll find me.
it's Tell. Ross and Gurkhan and Zanny on the bridge of the ship. The Romulans are hailing you again. It's been a half hour.
Our weapons are up, that means.
Your weapons are good to go. The Romulans are hailing you again. Mevin looks over at you, Zanny, and just looks at you. Their ship looks better at repairs too. Their lights are on solid. The communication console is strong. The communication is strong, and the communication is strong. And she just looks at you and she says, "So your time is up. It's either time for you to go or time for you to go." I'd prefer the latter because really, thorn in my side, Zanny. I am just done with you.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, it's amazing. You know,
So
just
hard.
the way you do it. Well,
God, I
so
hate humans.
you know what? We can get out of here. We'll beam up our crew and I'm gonna cut the comms and go. Gurkhan, can that weapon malfunction and maybe destroy that place down there?
Our weapon? Sir,
Yeah.
yes. We fire enough photon torpedoes, we can blow anything up.
So,
Cool.
Dr. Doug, I'm going to tell you right now, if that's what's going to happen, you do not want to be in orbit. It would be all kinds of bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll let you know that I figured out that these neutrinos that are coming from this thing come from a specific layer of subspace.
Mhm.
And it is... it's layer 392, if you didn't know. It's a fun fact.
392. I didn't realize there was so many. The point is, Gurkhan, I need you to roll with me on this. We need to destroy that station, okay?
Oh, yes, of course,
It needs
sir.
to go. But we need to get our crew back first, and I need to be able to get out of here.
Shall I
Yeah.
make it look like our shields malfunction as well so we can beam our crew up?
That sounds like a good plan. Let's do that.
Gurkhan starts rerouting power through a couple of the consoles that he knows nobody's in, and he's getting ready to have those consoles explode.
Oh,
On the
they
bridge.
will explode. You jury-rigged this weapon system. It's
Yeah, so he's rerouting some power console stuff through making sure that these ones are the ones that blow, where there's no Beagle, there's no Dr. Doug, nobody's sitting on them to get exploded with shrapnel.
Okay.
And he's like, so you go, he's waiting for the captain to open up the comms again.
Why don't you give me a determination roll?
Determination roll?
Yeah, give me a determination roll to see if you accomplish your reroute.
All right, so like just my veterancy roll?
Yeah, so we're going to see here. I'm making you spend one of your determination to do this, so we're just rolling to see if you can keep it.
I do not.
Okay, so one of your other determinations is gone with this. Probably your my ship, my
family, my crew.
Yeah.
Trying to keep everybody alive. I'm going to reopen Gurkhan again. Determination 0. My crew equals my family. Yeah.
Yazikov is going through multiple, as she beams up, it's like, I'm everywhere all at the same time.
Yeah. That's how she's beaming up.
Okay, as soon as I know that he's got it open, I'm going to open comms and that we can get our crew back, as well as, destroy this thing.
Yeah,
Once
so
he's-
you hear, sorry to interrupt Gurkhan, you hear, Skwxwu sounds winded. Well, no, he's a Vulcan. He doesn't sound... Tal sounds winded. Skwxwu sounds like a Vulcan Skwxwu does.
He took 3 deep breaths and he's fine.
Captain, we're ready to beam out. Yazikov is somewhere in the forest. Still need to locate
Mine on
her.
the ship.
Yazikov is on open comms now because she was hailed by the captain, right? So it was all 3 of you were hailed at the same time. So Yazikov.
Oh, so I'm on open comms. Vic, are you not on the planet anymore? You just hear this say like
Tell
gun
our
punch
Zenkethi
a
operator,
Romulan.
just beam them all up now, damn it.
Oh, okay. So Beagle just jumps to it. Beagle will see if he can beam him up. One sec.
Our shields are still up.
Yeah. So it's going to be control and engineering for Beagle. Here we go.
As this happens, I open comms and I make like to Mevin like we're suffering a weird power surge type thing. I don't know what's happening, and I'm like talking to Gurkhan very fast, but like Mevin can still hear it. And I'm like, what's going on?
Captain, we have an EPS power conduit overload. Beware.
Yeah. So the EPS power conduit does explode. One of the consoles blows. Yezikov, it takes a little longer than you really like for you guys to rematerialize. As you kind of like, you just, Zanny, you hear Beagle, in the background as he's doing the transporter stuff. He didn't roll super good. It's not the smoothest ride, and in fact, I think you'd probably feel like, I always imagine that a bad transporter ride would leave you feeling
bone
queasy,
syndrome,
right? Like you just kind of like
bonitis.
have that nausea. Yeah. So the three of you kind of have that.
Lieutenant Tell pukes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like a symbiont that doesn't like to be transported anyway, and he's just overcome with nausea and throws up all over the transporter.
Yezikov just like looks down, like, oh.
All right.
But then when he's done, he's like, "That away mission was the best."
He wipes his face. It's so good, guys.
At least he's his doctor when you can.
So the ship breaks orbit, and as it does, you see explosions start to happen on the surface, Andy, before Gurkhan is even fired. But Gurkhan planned it so that as you were taking out of orbit, the ship was going to fire. So Gurkhan, I'll let you explain your torpedo spread or your phaser. Like, what are you doing? Are you doing full like torpedo and phaser barrage down on the planet?
No, just a single. It's going to be a phaser fire, but it's going to look like there's 4 or 5 random shots in different areas in space first.
Gotcha.
So like straight up, then left, then down, like a perfect. So like if you were to look at it, it looks like like a pie, like a perfect 90-degree cut.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
But one of them happens to be lined up with the base exactly. So
nice.
Just poof, hits the base and fires again.
All right. So as it hits the base, Gurkhan, the base does like way bigger explosion than even your phasers could have done. Like even Jerry, it's big, and it's one of those like Star Trek 5 movies where there's like the beam of light shoots straight up out of the planet into space. Like it's just full on, just like it kind of goes right through the nacelle of
where we
the
were
warbird,
at one point.
and right through the nacelle of the warbird, and right through where you guys were just a moment ago. You see a couple like disruptor shots from the warbird, but they go really wide. And you guys managed to crawl out of the system, and you can go to warp if you want as you leave the system. Zenny, would you like a conference?
Before we go to warp, I send in. Yeah, in a second. But just before we go to warp, I send an encoded message to Mevin, and the password is just that first planet we met. With the time weird dilation, so that's what she has to put in. And all the message says is, "Next time, stay in touch. You're welcome."
Love you, Zenny.
So, do you want to have a conference and kind of like figure out what just happened there?
Yes, actually, I would. That'd be very nice.
Okay,
so we were heading back to Naranda Station.
We're gonna warp back to Naranda Station for repairs, but on our way, yes.
Yeah, so let's
conference room 2.
Let's there's only one conference room, but they call it conference room 2. So why don't you guys all let's try and figure out what happened. What just happened there?
Romulans.
Yeah.
Romulans found Herc technology, and they're using that Herc technology to fight from fight from Cloak using subspace torpedoes. Not fun.
I'm also, as y'all figure this out, I'm gonna classify all this within this conference room about what's going on, because this is going to be between everyone in this room and Admiral Shrev, and that is all. Admiral Shrev can pass it on their intelligence. Mm-hmm. Mevin distinctly asked me to blow up that station. There is in her words, there is a she is very dangerous to the Republic and the Federation. Whatever reason Mevin was there was someone else behind it pulling the strings. with regards to getting the subspace plasma torpedoes off the ground.
Wait, Mevin sent you that?
Not not in so many typed words,
Okay.
but yes, she did.
Mevin knows that Zanny's a beta Z. Mevin telepathically said that to Zanny.
Good.
Hence the reason we tried to make this look like a bit of an accident on our part for deniability, but also we needed to keep Mevin's cover for whatever she's investigating, whoever this threat is.
Excellent.
So when was the last time
Just
you
so
all
you
saw
know-
Mevin? Oh, sorry, Gurkhan. Go ahead.
The technology that the Klingons had for firing in subspace was not subspace, firing while cloaked was slightly different. It didn't fire the torpedoes through subspace, which means that these torpedoes can pass through shields if they're calibrated correctly, which makes them way more dangerous. They could almost transport a torpedo into your engineering department and just blow up your warp core
So,
if they calibrate it.
Yezikov, I'll let you know that when you saw shared images of the ship from orbit after they kind of like they did a debrief, like you guys teamed up all your information because you all heard me, right? So everything you guys actually heard me say, all your characters now know because you would have kind of left the conference room, right? So, so that burn mark on the and the damage done to the warbird was done from firing that prototype torpedo that hit you. And you're kind of supposed that you guys got here by accident. So it was probably a test and not meant to actually hit you.
Yeah.
So we just got in the way of a random cannon.
No.
Yeah.
Our luck, really.
We wandered onto the mortar field.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not only did we wander onto the mortar field, we wandered onto the mortar field, firing wildly into the distance.
I don't understand. What's a mini
field?
field?
At least we didn't fire the quantum torpedo.
Yeah.
Well, no, that one we're saving.
That one
Yeah,
needs
that
like
one's
that one
Your
needs like
one
2
quantum
keys kind of
torpedo.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Two red buttons.
we have a single quantum torpedo on this button.
Yeah.
It's currently locked behind 6 doors.
So as
Well,
you guys,
whatever it is, we can expect whoever this. Sorry,
no, please go ahead.
we can expect whoever's behind this to appear again. We need to stay on alert and keep our ears open for any intel coming through.
Yezikov, you've worked with Romulans, right? Doug, did we have a Romulan attachment to you two as well? No? Okay.
I think so.
That's fine. So Yezikov, the only people that people like Mevin are nervous around are the Tal Shiar, the Romulan sort of secret service. And there was somebody on the bridge with Mevin that Mevin kept kind of like indicating towards Zanny that the show had to go on for that individual on the bridge. So it's likely that Mevin had somebody on the Tal Shiar on the bridge with her and was literally testing Mevin. So this was more about Mevin making sure that Mevin was loyal to whatever they're up to than it was you guys getting in the way. Does that make sense? It was less of a Mevin and you guys thing and more of a Mevin and whoever she's dealing with thing and her cover.
Hence the show Gurkhan and I tried to put on, which thanks. Good job, Gurkhan, rolling with that.
The more time I spend with humans, the more I learn about subterfuge, Captain.
So when was the last time you all saw Mevin? Can I just ask that quick?
When we saved her ship.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't we see her last time?
Well, no, I think Tim threw her in for like a hot second when
Yeah.
we were transformed as Romulans.
That's right. She was down on that
fair.
planet.
I don't think Yezikov saw her, but somebody did. I think it was Doug.
It was Doug.
Yeah, I think that ended up outside the episode.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, it was
that
like
was
right at the
something-
end. I think it was right at the
right
end
at the
because it
end.
was as we were leaving that base, Tim threw it in that like, oh, you see Mevin in the background or something.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
And they were doing experimental stuff there too.
that's right. And that was most definitely the Tal Shiar because that's why you installed a Starfleet intelligence agent.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Good old Trippy McFall.
Wonder if he's
down.
dead yet.
Well,
Fingers crossed.
he sent you the information. Sorry, Tim. Shut up, Tim. So
He sent us nothing. Nothing
he sent you
happened. We don't
nothing.
know who
Nothing
he is.
happened. I
What?
wonder if he's dead yet. Weird, right?
He's definitely falling again.
I wonder
He's
if the guy
definitely dead.
I wonder if the guy that we framed for being drunk is dead yet.
Okay.
That guy is not dead. That guy's in the interrogation chamber for the rest of his existence.
Yeah.
All right. Fred, thank you very much for joining us. It was truly a pleasure. You're welcome back anytime. We can always have a subspace problem. To the rest of you,
The pleasure was mine. Thanks for
yeah.
having me, Tim.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was fun.
His character lives in our modular labs.
Is that what it is? Yeah, he's finally
They're
got
not
out.
modular anymore. They're just his labs.
It's just his labs. So.
No, they rotate around. There's only one door to the labs, but they're all. It's like the cube. Our labs are like the cube.
Jesus.
Just
Why
moves
would
around.
you
Every-
do that?
Every once in a while, depending on the speciality that comes around, the specialist gets to come out and play with the big boys.
Yeah, the door to their actual cell just rotates, and they're the ones that are let out this week. Great. Can we not make that canon? That's a little creepy.
I mean,
even for Star Trek.
they can leave whenever
real
they
dark.
want. We have
a little,
transporters.
a little dark. If we were playing a Romulan game, maybe. But okay. With that, let's have a good night, everyone. You can catch us here every second Sunday. We have more guests coming. I even have a big, maybe, I don't know. I'm so stupid. I might have a guest ship, like an entire guest crew coming in. So I'm yeah.
Go.
So, I know, because my life isn't difficult enough. In theory, Fred, I should have the right closing sequence for you, so you'll get credits. And hooray!
Make sure to plug him.
Yeah. Yes. Do you want to plug, please? Plug anything you're working on, or how can people follow you?
I've done some writing for Star Trek Adventures. You can follow me on Twitter at Trek_lug. And I got lots of tabletop thoughts and Star Trek thoughts and video game thoughts, and always happy to meet more people in the community and enjoy the best hobby in the world, tabletop role-playing games.
Right? Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, I'm at the GM Tim, and you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and I think I have a Facebook. I never go on. Yeah, you can catch me here every second Sunday with this wonderful crew. Thanks everyone for playing with me on my birthday, and that's it. Live long and prosper, everybody. Have a good night.
Kapla!
Thanks, Tim. Happy birthday.
Bye bye.
Thanks.